Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Blackening, which had its wide release in 2023. The Blackening is basically a feature-length joke about the slasher trope of the black guy always dying first. The trope is often referenced, but has debatable accuracy. In my experience, there's only a few specific times I can think of where a black character dies first. A more accurate trope is that they almost never survive. Probably since black people were rarely the main characters in horror movies, at least until recently. They were more often part of the friend fodder, and their deaths were noticeable because they were usually token. When your movie only has one black person, their death might stand out more. In contrast, The Blackening doesn't have a token black character. The entire cast is black, and they talk about black things in black ways. It even takes place on Juneteenth, the federal holiday commemorating the ending of slavery in the US 160 years ago today. That technically makes this a holiday slasher, which is one of my favorite subgenres. I mean, you've got Bloody New Year, Uncle Sam, and the best of them all, Bloody Birthday.
Don't copy our hiding place, or I'll shoot you.
But The Blackening is no mere holiday slasher. It's also a satire about black identity and culture. Everything about it, too. They're not afraid to poke fun.
Nandi?
Pyramid, why's that fitting?
Because, nigga, you're literally from Africa.
And to get specific, there are plenty of references and in-jokes you might not get. I didn't catch all of them, but I did learn a lot in our review on the podcast with our friend Prince Jackson. I love that stuff flew over my head, though. I hate when a movie is focus grouped to appeal to the most people possible. I much prefer they have a perspective and voice, something that makes them unique, even if it narrows their potential audience. The Blackening is unapologetically black, and I love that for it. As a horror film, the movie is, it's fine. It's got scares, some chases, a bunch of violence, but it is squarely on the comedy half of horror comedy. It's not quite the physics-defying cartoon reality of Scary Movie, but it is a little parodic and plenty silly, occasionally scratching against the fourth wall. Real horror tension isn't the goal. It's more about watching funny people do and say funny things. And that works great for me, since the performances are the highlight here. This movie's hilarious, and the whole cast has a cohesive chemistry. They really sell that they're old friends, even as they drop jokes every other sentence. But don't worry, there's still a couple of kills in here to count. Normally this is the sponsor part, but this episode doesn't have a sponsor, so let me take the opportunity to remind you that all movie content made by Dead Meat has moved back to the main channel. It's all under one roof again. That means the podcast, the Monday morning live streams, the horror awards, production tales from hell, They Talk, our many interviews, one-off videos like the halftime show we did with Elijah Wood and Oz Perkins, and any other videos that we might come up. If it has to do with a movie, it's gonna be here. From now on, Dead Meat Presents will just have video game live streams. And in the future, maybe more video game stuff. We're still figuring that part out, but like I said, everything's back under Dead Meat right now. So you'll probably get a lot more notifications. Just let us know what you think of it. We just got sick of people missing the really cool shit we do, dude. We do a lot of really cool shit. You should see it. And now you will. How many bodies will be stacking by the time we finish The Blackening? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins at a nice-ass cabin. Its owners aren't there, though. It's being rented to a group of friends for a Juneteenth celebration/reunion. Morgan is prepping the place, but gets creeped out by a self-opening door.
I got a gun. Help. That's too DMX. What are you doing?
But she don't shut him down or open up shop. Her and her man Sean run off to explore the house, not knowing someone's just outside. Sean has found something in the cabin's game room. The Title Game, which looks like a Monopoly Minstrel Edition.
What in the Jim Crow fuck, right?
It's eager for them to play it. Pushy even.
Pick a card.
Okay, nigga, calm down. I just did.
Yeah, you better watch how you talking to my lady, okay?
The card asks them to name a black character who survived a horror movie. If they get it wrong, they die. Oh, fucking easy. You've got Brandy and I Still Know, Dwayne Martin in Scream 2, Miguel A. Nunez in Leprechaun 4, and Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection, even after going kung fu on Michael Myers. I ain't worried. These are horror fans. They even referenced a Wes Craven classic a minute ago.
That was just the plot for the movie People Under the Stairs.
I'm sure they've got it, no problem.
Jada Pinkett, Omar Epps, Scream 2.
You blew it! Those were the opening kills. How could you forget Jada's haunting scream?
I honestly think that the studio didn't have the budget to keep him the whole movie. That's why they had to die first.
Fun meta joke there about Yvonne Orji and Jay Farrow, probably the best known cast members due to their respective work on Insecure and SNL. Their high rate's why they gotta die. The lights go out and Sean takes an arrow to the throat that causes him to bleed out in front of Morgan.
Run. Nigga.
Before she can, a large masked assailant cuts her off and pulls her into the blackness, all while that racist board game fucker laughs. The next morning, the rest of the group makes their way to the cabin. Kind of final girl Lisa is carpooling with her best friends Allison and Dwayne. At the cabin, they find a white park ranger named White who's suspicious of them. The cabin's owners, the Connors, usually only rent to,
White people.
Families.
White families.
Ranger White leaves them to reunite with King, a guy who was thuggish in college but has since chilled out and matured. They also see Lisa's ex-boyfriend Namdi, which upsets Dwayne since he was a cheating jerk to Lisa in college. Lisa tells Dwayne she and Namdi are just friends and calms him down with a breathing exercise.
Take a deep breath. Now, inhale through your mouth. Swallow.
What is this?
Molly.
Oh, and drugs. Dwayne don't mind.
You know, this is my drug of choice.
Let's do it!
Dwayne is played by and named after comedian Dwayne Perkins, who created and co-wrote The Blackening. He's an Emmy-nominated writer whose credits include Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Other than himself, Perkins left casting to co-writer Tracy Oliver and director Tim Story. They intentionally cast actors with differing body types and complexions, people who looked and sounded different, to underline the diversity of blackness. Shanika, the final member of their crew, is picking up wrap snacks at a gas station when the place's requisite creepy owner creeps her out with his creeping eye. He's almost as weird as the old classmate she runs into.
Carlton?
Clifton.
Clifton!
Oh yeah, Clifton. Carlton was the other guy. Clifton hasn't really stayed friends with the friend group, so it's weird that he got an invite. He also doesn't have a ride.
My Hyundai died up the road.
Yo, what?
Hyundai died up the road.
So Shanika reluctantly says he can come with her. Since Allison got a text from Morgan and Sean saying they were coming back later, the group goes ahead and gets the party going without them. That is so much Sugar King!
Call it King's Kool-Aid.
The girls win a game of spades using telepathy, which we saw them use earlier in the car.
You got a heart?
Nope.
It works as a reference to The Shine, which is most associated with the black character, Dick Halloran in The Shining. Everyone's having a good time except Dwayne. He's really not happy Namdi is there.
Did you just shift in your seat at me, you little moody ass?
Luckily that Molly kicks in just in time for him to have a dance session to a song by Silk Sonic. Lisa takes the opportunity to slip away. Despite what she told Dwayne earlier, she and Namdi have actually gotten back together. But she knows Dwayne wouldn't approve, since no one seems to believe that Namdi's actually changed.
This time's different.
Nigga, you say the same thing every time.
While washing his clothes, Dwayne gets jump scared by Shanika.
Ow, you so late, move.
Well, oh, hold on. What the fuck am I Moscato? This is peach lavender.
Go through the front door. I love you.
Shanika makes her entrance, trailed by a sad dog-looking Clifton, and immediately clocks the odorous D on Lisa.
Oh, you smell like dick. What the fuck you been doing?
The moment is witnessed by Dwayne, who insists he totally doesn't even care. Like, seriously, it's fine that she's back together with Namdi. That's great for them. Before another game of spades can get going, the lights go out. Party foul. And there's maybe people walking around outside? Double party foul. They look for a breaker box, but find the game room instead. It was locked earlier, but they must have added the blueprint to their drafting pool. It's set up for another round of everyone's favorite racist game.
The Blackening?
That's right. The Blackening's mascot is a Sambo figure from the 1899 children's book, The Story of Little Black Sambo. It's an offensive caricature of black people, like the Mammy or the Gollywog, that doll that was the subject of one of the segments in Tales from the Hood 2. Remember that? The Blackening game was written and designed to be as offensive as possible.
I see it in my head, and I was like, I know what this could be. And then in filming it, I was like, who wrote this? What the fuck?
The characters definitely ain't happy to see it.
Oh, this game got bad vibes. No, thank you.
Even more unnervingly, all the game pieces correspond with one of the guests, like a crown for King or a bottle for Shanika.
Why I gotta get a bottle?
Because you're literally a drunk.
They assume the game is an elaborate prank from Morgan, so they decide to play.
Pick a card.
The door slams shut on its own, locking everyone inside. A jigsaw monitor turns on, revealing Morgan held hostage somewhere. Sambo tells them if they don't keep playing, she'll go the way of her Saturday night dead boyfriend. The group is forced to answer 10 rapid-fire trivia questions about black history and culture in a hilarious sequence. Topics include the NAACP, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and the Black National Anthem, which Allison sings expertly. Maybe she could get a record deal at Empire. The final question asks them to name 5 black guest stars from Friends. They all claim not to have watched the show, but they managed to come up with 5 names.
Oh, and Mr. Mosby, he played Chandler's boss, Phil Lewis.
Shit, yeah, that's 4.
Wait, so all y'all watch that show?
Unfortunately, their effort is in vain.
Wrong. The correct answer was I don't know. I don't watch that show. I watch Living Single.
Oh, you can't do that.
The killer prepares to give Morgan a mechanical saw 4 scalping, but he only manages to literally snatch her wig instead. She fights off her attackers and runs away, and the rest of the group leaves the game room through the now unlocked door. They're still trapped as fuck though. The other doors are locked, the glass is sturdy, and the air has been emancipated from their tires. Another monitor shows Morgan going up some stairs. Sure enough, they hear her on the other side of the basement door. Unable to get the door open, the domesticated king reveals he's still got that thuggish ruggish bone.
Think you got a gun?
I knew you had a gun.
Wow, that's profiling.
He shoots the lock off and opens the door, but a bolt flies out of the dark and catches him in the shoulder. Dwayne and Shanika stop the killer from entering, and a foot stab keeps them safe as King pulls the bolt out of his body. But then the killer shows up again to shoot King again, right in the same spot. Unreal. Namdi scares him off with a gun, but accidentally leaves it behind as they escape. Allison tries to pull the arrow out of King, but ends up stabbing herself instead. Lisa gives Namdi a chance to play hero.
Damn.
Everyone returns to the game room where they're locked in once again. For the second round, Sambo gives them 2 minutes to unanimously choose someone to die.
Sacrifice the person you deem the blackest to me.
The blackest?
The group immediately starts throwing suggestions around.
But shit, Shanika, she say nigga the most.
Nigga.
See?
It is probably the movie's funniest scene.
You are a literal African, Namdi. You are like still in its original packaging black.
Co-writer Dwayne Perkins made The Blackening as a sketch in 2018 with his Chicago-based comedy troupe Threepeat. This scene was the sketch, with a lot of the exact same dialogue.
Well, Lisa says nigga the most.
Nigga!
See?
It went viral on Comedy Central's YouTube channel, and Perkins was contacted by Tracy Oliver, who had just directed the very successful Girls Trip. She wanted to expand The Blackening into a feature, and mentored Perkins on how to do it. They wrote the script together, bonding over their love of Scream, Scary Movie, Hush, You're Next, and Cabin in the Woods. For character archetypes, they wanted figures specific to black folks, like the maybe thug, the native African, the mixed race person, etc., etc. All that comes to a head in this scene, which is hilarious and looks at various attitudes towards racial identity. Everyone resorts to stereotypes as they argue that they're not that black. For instance, King used to be about that gangster life, but has since settled down in suburbia.
And I'm married to a white woman, so.
That does not help.
You're right, I'm gonna shut up.
Allison gets teased for being half white all the time.
Hey, look, Allison. Even got a picture of you on the wall, too.
So she definitely ain't taking the fall as the blackest.
My daddy is white with the so it's surely not me.
And Dwayne? Well, I mean, he's gay.
Just like my homophobic family member says, gayness is just whiteness wrapped up in a bunch of dicks, and today, I agree.
Eventually, the group turns to the outsider Clifton, who tries to make a case for himself.
I've never seen Friday.
The fuck?
That's a good way to get knocked the fuck out, man! When none of that works, he goes nuclear.
I voted for Trump.
What?
Twice?
Shit, probably 3 times by now. With time running out, they all decide to choose Clifton. He leaves them with one last point of demographic data.
All lives matter.
Real outlier, that Clifton. He barely makes it out the door before he's shot in the chest with a bolt outside. The group watches on the monitor as the killer drags his body off screen. When urged to continue the game, Namdi flips the board like an angry sibling. The real-life Alt F4 moves them to the game's final level, a deadly game of cat and mouse. The doors will all shortly be unlocked, and they can choose to try their luck going outside or staying in. Everyone races for weapons ranging from hot and spicy to Hasbro.
Really? A candlestick? Do you think you include?
While the script was written by Perkins and Oliver, there's a lot of comedic improv that the rest of the cast brought to the table.
We're very much like comedy people, and so much improv, so much like, oh, here's a bit, and he's very much like, do what your heart tells you.
They come to a disagreement about whether to stay inside or make a run for it through the forest. As the clock ticks away, Allison's forced to engage with her whiter half.
Allison.
Oh my God.
We have to split up.
They divide into packs. Namdi, Lisa, and Dwayne will hunker down inside, while Allison, Shanika, and King will run outside for help. Lisa suddenly remembers that Morgan never got a kill graphic, so she and the boys head downstairs to look for her. The cabin's Buffalo Bill-looking basement has all your horror staples. A ring-style bottomless well, a Confederate flag, and security cameras monitoring the entire house. Psst, Dwayne, the network password is Swan Song. They hear footsteps upstairs and move to attack, only to discover it's Ranger White, which might not be a great thing for them. But White insists he's one of the good ones.
If I got an invite to the cookout, I'd be honored, but I wouldn't go.
And why the fuck not?
Because I know my presence in that all-black space would be a disturbance and undo it being an all-black space.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, now ask him what he'd do if he had $1 million.
2 chicks at the same time, man.
White can't call for backup due to a signal jammer, so he leaves the trio in his squad car while he investigates further.
I'll be right back.
Nah, fuck. The outside crew is running around and referencing referential horror movies.
I'm feeling a bit woozy here.
Allison's feeling something too. The Adderall Shanika accidentally gave her earlier, thinking they were painkillers. I love Grace Byers' performance of Adderall Alley. Helped her get a Prime Rib nomination at the Horror Awards. The Super Adderall is overwhelming though. It takes Shanika and lyrics from a Sister Act 2 song just to keep her going. And that doesn't even last long, since Allison disappears by the time they reach the edge of a forest. Shanika decides to try to swim to some houses on the other side of the lake. King doesn't know how to swim.
Wow, way to be a fucking stereotype.
So he hides in a tree instead. Comedian X Mayo, who's a credited writer on 400 episodes of The Daily Show, actually swam in this cold-ass lake at night for real. She wanted to do it to counteract the myth that black people or black women her size can't swim.
In a poofy dress on my cycle, and I was also, yes, let the world know that, honey. Uterus jumping.
She hasn't gotten very far before the killer starts taking pot shots at her. Before she's dead in the water, King comes to the rescue with a full McConaughey. He pummels the killer in a fight set to Made You Look by Nas, but pulls a hammy at a crucial moment. He gets stabbed in the leg by the killer, who kinda sounds like Tigger.
First off, you're gonna watch me kill your friend.
Luckily, waiting in the wings is Adderall Schwarzenegger with a makeshift claw of arrow tips. Despite his bigger size, the killer is no match for a fully medicated millennial. After hacking, slashing, poking, and prodding him up, Allison finally finishes him off with a stab to the gut. They unmask him and find the creepy guy Shanika saw at the gas station. But this isn't just some random creepy gas station guy. According to his inhaler, he's Camden Connor of the Connor family, whose cabin they're staying at.
See, that's why I don't come to the woods, because of crazy white motherfuckers like this.
Shanika also notices he has different shoes from the guy she stabbed earlier, so he must have a ghost face partner. It might be Ranger White, since back at the car, Lisa finds one of the killer's masks. Makes it hard to trust him when he runs back and begs to be let inside, saying he found the mask in the woods. When they hesitate too long, he's killed by an arrow through the neck. Aw, R.I.P. dude. I love Ranger White, mostly because I love Diedrich Bader and have since the Drew Carey Show. He was cast by director Tim Story, who was a big fan of his work in Veep. Story was a huge reason why this movie got made. He's the first black director to make more than $1 billion at the box office, thanks to several hits, including the first 2 Fantastic Four films. He was originally just going to produce The Blackening, but wound up directing it too, which helped maintain its black identity. I mean, his first big movie was Barbershop. The friends flee the car under a hail of arrows, but Dwayne gets pinned down and ditched.
Save yourself. Boom. I was joking.
Lisa and Namdi head inside and climb into a comically oversized vent. They're nearly discovered by the killer, but he's lured away by Dwayne, who's pissed that his friends left him behind. He confronts Lisa about her decision to get back with Namdi, but the killer turns off the signal jammer, setting off a wave of notifications. He follows the noise upstairs, making Dwayne mighty nervous. Earlier, he had mentioned he was an anxious puker.
That makes me nervous, and I throw up when I'm nervous.
So when the killer peekaboos, Dwayne pukaboos all over him like he were Chris Evans in a cable knit sweater. The spewage sends the killer tumbling down the stairs, allowing Dwayne to grab his crossbow and shoot him in the head. Or shit, the hand. The hand, Dwayne, you only shot him in the hand. You've got to double tap him, dude. This ain't no time to continue arguing.
You have never treated me like a best friend. You treated me like a gay side chick.
They're saved last minute by their returning friends. Lisa ultimately puts that candlestick to good use and beats the killer to death with it.
Why the fuck black women gotta save everyone all the goddamn time? Get him, grab him up. I'm tired! I'm fucking tired!
The slow motion and out of sync audio there feels like a direct nod to TJ in Friday 4.
Die! Die! Die!
With her head now clear and her face covered in brains, Lisa brokers peace between Namdi and Dwayne. But they've still got a killer with a crushed head on the floor. A look inside his pockets reveals his name was Clive Connor. We never saw Clive outside of family pictures, but he was gas station dude's binocular brother. It's kind of an underwhelming reveal, but that's because these were merely hired goons being paid to kill them. Ah, the old Your Next treatment.
This is all we worth? It's like $1,000. This is offensive. Oh my God.
They decide to look for more answers in the basement. Allison's still high and King is still perforated, so they volunteer to keep watch upstairs. They split up once again, but not before Allison gifts Dwayne her chili powder.
What the fuck is wrong with her?
Nigga, it's the Adderall. I'm on Adderall?
The group goes downstairs and finds the bodies of Clifton and Ranger White at a table. Inside Clifton's jacket is a 10-year-old newspaper article about a drunk driving accident in which he killed a young woman. Nearby, the terminal plays footage of someone dumping bodies down the well, and it's revealed that that someone is none other than Clifton himself. Turns out he's the mastermind behind the night's events. He announces he's rigged the place to explode and locks the door to the basement, and forces the group to drop all of their weapons. He reveals his motive. At their Juneteenth party 10 years ago, they didn't let him join in all their Juneteenth games, specifically spades, since he didn't know how to play. And in fact, this exact same thing happened again earlier this night.
Look, man, we ain't got time to be teaching you how to play. You sit on the sideline, you can watch. If you learn, cool. If not,
Yeah, sure, of course. I'll watch.
When he messed up the gameplay back then, they made jokes about his blackness.
It's not like someone revoked your black card.
No, Lisa, you're incorrect. That's exactly what you said. Your exact words, I remember. You said, yeah, nigga, your black card's revoked. That's what you said.
You know, that tracks.
It's something he was sensitive about, having grown up in Vermont, and is a real concern for a lot of black people who might not be familiar with things in black culture.
You know, I was just so excited to be around people that look like me.
It's a good villain motivation, and hilariously on brand since it boils down to, basically, a game of spades. I don't love Clifton as a character, though. He's goofy at a scary movie level, as opposed to all the grounded, funny people around him. That lip thing, too, it's too much. Anyway, after being embarrassed, Clifton got drunk for the first time and drove home. He caused a deadly crash that landed him in jail for 4 years.
4 years for manslaughter? That's like grad school, man.
Bitter about the time taken from him, Clifton decided to take revenge. He's now going to kill this whole friend group and dump their bodies down the well, which is where he dumped Morgan after killing her off screen. Her and Sean were the bodies in that security footage, so I guess I can finally count her as a kill. But before he does that, he wants to play another game. He once again asks them to sacrifice their blackest member. Lisa's about done with this shit, but she's encouraged to play along by a look from Dwayne.
Do you trust me?
With my life.
He gets Namdi involved too to hatch a surprise attack before they realize Clifton's got the shine as well.
Wait, did you hear all of that?
Yes, motherfucker, I did. You done fucked up now.
He prepares to shoot Lisa, but Namdi proves his devotion by jumping in front of the bolt. Upstairs, Allison and King have been watching everything on a monitor. They find a remote control for the lights by looting the killer's body. They trigger a blackout downstairs, and in the chaos, Shanika grabs the crossbow and shoots Clifton in the chest. That's gotta sting. Dwayne uses Chekhov's chili powder to make him let go of the detonator, then Spartan kicks him to his death at the bottom of the well. Say hi to Samara for us, bitch! As dawn breaks, the crew recovers outside, having all managed to survive. The filmmakers wanted this to be a feel-good movie, and for audiences to walk away happy rather than scared. That's why the villains use crossbows too. They didn't want to include gun violence, which might be too reminiscent of real life. The movie ends as they try to figure out what to do next.
Call the cops?
As the credits roll, they decide to call the fire department, only to get blown away with a fire hose. While our black cast managed to beat the odds, plenty of others didn't. Let's find out how many.
Pick a card.
I'm in the middle of something here. Let's find out how many.
Pick a card.
Jeez, okay. I don't know what a card is supposed to do. What's a trivia question? How many people died in the Blackening? I was just about to answer that. I was just about to say that. That's the next part of the show, dude. Only 6 people died in the Blackening, 5 men and 1 woman, giving us this, the blue winning pie chart. We've seen this count and breakdown 7 times before, with the first and latest, the OG Child's Play, and its recount. With a runtime of 97 minutes, the Blackening had a kill on average every 16.16 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to the first killer, Camden Connor. Allison is one of my favorite characters in the movie, and it's hella satisfying watching her go all Wolverine. Double machete for lamest kill will go to Morgan. Why'd they keep her alive at first, only to kill her off screen? Like, super off screen. So off screen, you might not even realize she died if you missed a line of dialogue. And that's it. The Blackening came out in 2022 and made more than 3 times its budget at the box office. A sequel is in development, with Perkins saying he wants to make it anthological, with the same actors coming back but playing different characters. Sounds great to me. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
First, we went from a park to a world. Then we went from a world to a kingdom. Now, we're pumping out another requel sequel with Jurassic World Dominion.
He's exploiting your enchantment with these.
Dominion sees dinosaurs go worldwide, setting the stage for a crazy finale in a compound in the middle of nowhere. Wait, is this the Apple campus?
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Ellie, Alan, and Ian are back and updated for the modern age.
He slid into my DMs.
Oh, God, no. Wait, stay with me. Dominion has other things too, like, bugs.
Nobody said there'd be bugs.
Okay, how about a little clone girl? Yeah, we could make her story the focus and... no, hold on, don't leave. We've got so many new characters too.
Still got it.
Which means everyone can constantly introduce themselves to each other.
Dr. Sattler? Dr. Grant?
Dr. Grant?
This is Maisie. Maisie Lockwood.
Owen Grady.
You're Dr. Ellie Sattler and Alan Grant.
All right, enough of that.
I have a lot of regrets.
But seriously, this movie ain't all bad. It's got great practical puppets. Shit, that's about it, huh? Thank God for that Lystrosaurus, man. He's really pulling more than his own weight. Anyway, this week, try to get through Jurassic World Dominion.
Hold on tight.
What?
Oh my God, it's 2.5 hours long?
What?
Then on Friday, Dino See the Kill Count. Only on Dead Meat.
Don't move.
Jurassic World Dominion can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Happy Juneteenth, and thanks a lot for watching the Kill Count on the Blackening. I see a lot of horror comedies as, part of my job, and I feel like this is definitely one of the funniest ones. And horror comedy is so subjective, so it might not be for you at all. You might love movies that I don't think are funny at all. But for me personally, I just love the cast and all their performances and the characters in this one. I think it's hilarious. One last reminder that all of Dead Meat movie content is back here on Dead Meat, which I am really excited about. Like I said in the announcement video, it turns out it's hard to get people to subscribe and check out a new channel. Or like YouTube doesn't push it the same. Little secret, I don't know how fucking YouTube works. Been doing it 8 damn years, but it feels like everything's always changing. I don't know. But I do know that I'm happy to have everything under one roof again. I want to thank some patrons like Trevin, Bot Saver, Paul Miner, Ethan Killingworth, Richard Bird, and 1XX Alexer XX1. Fucking AOL Instant Messenger ass name. Thanks everyone, be good people.